I was kneeling on the cold sidewalk outside the hospital when the man in the expensive coat stopped in front of me. My daughter Sarah was sleeping against my shoulder. She was burning with fever. I could feel the heat of her small body through my thin jacket. I had been begging for 3 hours. In my hand, I held $17 and some coins. The surgery she needed cost $8,000. The man looked down at me. He was tall. His shoes were polished. His face was tired, but his eyes were kind. "How old is she?" he asked. I looked up at him. 5, I whispered. He knelt down, right there on the dirty sidewalk in his expensive coat. He touched Sarah's forehead gently, the way a father would. "She's very sick," he said. "I know." My voice broke. "I know." He reached into his coat and pulled out a checkbook. My heart jumped. Maybe he would give me $100. Maybe 200. I started to thank him, but he held up his hand. "I'll pay for everything," he said. "The surgery, the hospital stay, the medicine, everything." I couldn't breathe. I stared at him. "But I have one condition," he said quietly. My chest tightened. I knew it. Nothing was ever free. I held Sarah closer. "If I adopt your child," he said, looking straight into my eyes, "will you be my wife?" The world went silent. I heard the traffic behind us. I felt Sarah's hot breath on my neck. But I couldn't understand what he had just said. "What?" I whispered. He didn't look away. "Marry me," he said. "Let me adopt Sarah. Let me give you both a life. A real life." "You don't even know me," I said. My voice was shaking. "I know enough." He stood up slowly. "My name is Daniel Cross. I'm 42 years old. I run a company. I have a son who's 7. His name is Michael. His mother left us when he was 2 years old. I've been raising him alone." He looked at Sarah again. "I've been watching you for 20 minutes, he said. "I watched you give half your money to that old man who was hungry. I watched you sing to your daughter even though you were crying. I watched you fix her hair with your fingers because you wanted her to feel beautiful." Tears ran down my face. "I'm not a perfect man," Daniel said, "but I'm a good father, and I have more than enough for all of us. I don't want to be alone anymore. And neither does my son." He pulled out a business card and a pen. He wrote something on the back. "This is my personal number," he said, handing it to me. "I'm going inside right now to pay for your daughter's surgery. You don't have to give me an answer today. But think about it." He started to walk away. "Why?" I called out. My voice was loud. People turned to look. "Why would you do this?" He stopped. He turned around. "Because 5 years ago, I was sitting in a hospital just like this one," he said. "My son was dying, and a stranger saved his life. I promised God that if Michael lived, I would spend the rest of my life helping others." He smiled. It was a sad smile. "Michael lived," he said. "So here I am." Then he walked into the hospital. I sat there on the sidewalk, holding my sick daughter, staring at the business card in my hand. My name is Grace. I wasn't always homeless. I wasn't always begging on sidewalks. 7 years ago, I lived in a small house with my husband, Tom. We were happy. We were young. We had plans. Then I got pregnant. Tom was so excited. He painted the nursery yellow. He bought tiny shoes before Sarah was even born. He would put his hand on my belly and talk to her. "You're going to be so loved," he would say. So loved. But when Sarah was 6 months old, Tom went to work one morning and didn't come home. There was an accident at the construction site. A crane fell. Tom was underneath it. They told me he died instantly. They said he didn't suffer. But I suffered. I had no family. Tom's parents had died years before. My own parents had cut me off when I married Tom. They said he wasn't good enough. They said I was making a mistake. I didn't care. I loved him. After Tom died, I tried to keep going. I worked 2 jobs. I paid the bills. I took care of Sarah. But then Sarah got sick. The doctors said it was her heart. A defect she was born with. It had been there all along, quiet, waiting. She needed surgery. Expensive surgery. I had no insurance. I had no savings. I lost my jobs because I missed too many days taking Sarah to appointments. I lost the house. I lost everything. Except Sarah. I would never lose Sarah. That night, after Daniel paid for the surgery, I sat in Sarah's hospital room and watched her sleep. The doctor said the surgery went well. She would need to stay in the hospital for a week, maybe 2. But she would be okay. She would live. I held the business card in my hand. I had been holding it for hours. Daniel Cross. I had looked him up on my phone. The hospital had free Wi-Fi. He was telling the truth. He owned a technology company. He was successful. Very successful. There were pictures of him at charity events. Pictures of him with a little boy. Michael. The boy had dark hair and serious eyes. He looked like Daniel. I found articles about Daniel's wife leaving. It happened 5 years ago. She left a note. She said she wasn't ready to be a mother. She said she was sorry. She never came back. I put my phone down. What kind of woman leaves her child? What kind of man proposes to a homeless stranger? Nothing made sense. But Sarah was alive. And that was all that mattered. A nurse came in around midnight. You should go home and rest, she said gently. I don't have a home, I said. I didn't mean to say it. It just came out. The nurse's face softened. Oh, honey. It's okay, I said quickly. I'll sleep in the chair. She brought me a blanket and a pillow. She didn't ask any more questions. When she left, I looked at the card again. I picked up my phone. My hands were shaking. I dialed the number. It rang once, twice, 3 times. Hello. His voice was deep and tired. It's Grace, I said. The woman from the sidewalk. I know, he said. There was a smile in his voice. How is Sarah? She's sleeping. The surgery went well. Good. I heard him let out a long breath. I'm glad. Silence. Why did you really offer that? I asked. The truth. More silence. Can I come see you? He asked. Tomorrow. Yes, I said. I'll be there at 9, he said. Get some rest, Grace. He hung up. I lay down in the chair with the thin blanket and closed my eyes. For the first time in 3 years, I felt something I had forgotten. Hope. Daniel arrived at exactly 9 o'clock. He wore jeans and a sweater. He looked different. More relaxed. He carried a bag. Good morning, he said. Good morning, I said. Sarah was awake. She was sitting up in bed, coloring. The nurses had given her crayons and paper. Daniel walked to her bed slowly. Hi, Sarah, he said. My name is Daniel. Sarah looked at him. Then she looked at me. It's okay, I said. He's a friend. I brought you something, Daniel said. He reached into the bag and pulled out a stuffed bear. It was soft and brown with a red ribbon around its neck. Sarah's eyes went wide. For me, she whispered. For you, Daniel said. She took the bear carefully, like it was made of glass. She hugged it to her chest. What do you say, baby? I said softly. Thank you, Sarah said. Daniel smiled. You're welcome. He sat down in the other chair. We watched Sarah color for a while. You wanted the truth, Daniel said finally. About why I offered what I offered. Yes, I said. He looked at his hands. My son is lonely, he said. He's 7 years old, and he's so lonely it breaks my heart. I didn't say anything. He's a good boy, Daniel continued. He's smart. He's kind. But he doesn't have friends. He doesn't talk much. He comes home from school, and he goes to his room, and he reads books by himself. That doesn't sound so bad, I said. It's not, Daniel said. Except I know why he does it. He does it because he's afraid. Afraid of what? Afraid that if he loves someone, they'll leave. Daniel's voice was rough. Like his mother left. My chest hurt. I've tried everything, Daniel said. Therapy. Playgroups. Sports teams. Nothing works. He's locked up inside himself. He looked at Sarah. But yesterday, when I saw you with your daughter, I saw something, he said. I saw the way she looked at you. Like you were her whole world. And I thought, maybe that's what Michael needs. Not a mother who left, but a mother who chose to stay. Tears filled my eyes. And I thought maybe you needed the same thing, Daniel said. Someone who chooses you. I don't understand you, I said. You could have any woman. You're successful. You're kind. You're handsome. Why me? Because you're real, Daniel said simply. Every woman I've met in the last 5 years wanted me for my money or my status. They smiled too much. They laughed too loud. They pretended to care about Michael, but I could see through it. He looked at me. But you didn't even know who I was, he said. And you didn't ask me for anything. You were just trying to save your daughter. I wiped my eyes. I can't marry you, I said. I don't know you. I know, Daniel said. I'm not asking you to marry me today. I'm asking you to give us a chance. What does that mean? It means come stay with us, he said. You and Sarah. I have plenty of room. You can have your own space. No pressure. No expectations. Just let us help you. Let Sarah get healthy. Let yourself rest. And then what? I asked. And then we see what happens, Daniel said. Maybe nothing. Maybe we become friends. Maybe we become family. I don't know. But at least we'll have tried. Sarah held up her picture. Mama, look. It was a drawing of a house. And 4 stick figures. Who are they, baby? I asked. That's me, she said, pointing to the smallest figure. And that's you. And that's the nice man. And that's his boy. My heart stopped. Daniel looked at the picture. His eyes were wet. Can I keep this? He asked Sarah. She nodded. He took the picture carefully and folded it. He put it in his pocket. Then he looked at me. 1 month, he said. Give me 1 month. If you still want to leave after that, I'll help you find a place. I'll make sure Sarah has everything she needs. No strings attached. I promise. I looked at my daughter. She was hugging the bear and smiling. She hadn't smiled like that in so long. 1 month, I said quietly. Daniel nodded. 1 month. 2 weeks later, Sarah was released from the hospital. Daniel picked us up in a black SUV. He opened the door for us. He helped me buckle Sarah into a car seat he had bought. Ready? He asked. I nodded. We drove out of the city. The buildings got smaller. The trees got taller. After 30 minutes, we turned onto a private road. At the end was a house. No, not a house. A home. It was 2 stories made of stone and wood. There were big windows. A porch with chairs. Flower beds that someone had cared for. This is it, Daniel said. I couldn't speak. We got out of the car. Daniel carried our bags. We only had 2 bags. Everything we owned fit into 2 bags. The front door opened. A little boy stood there. He had dark hair and serious eyes. He wore a blue shirt and jeans. Michael, Daniel said, this is Grace and Sarah. Michael looked at us. He didn't smile. Hi, he said quietly. Hi, Michael, I said. It's nice to meet you. He nodded. Sarah hid behind my leg. It's okay, baby, I said. Daniel knelt down next to Michael. Remember what we talked about? Michael nodded again. He walked up to Sarah slowly. He held out his hand. In his hand was a small toy car. Red and shiny. You can have it, he said. If you want. Sarah looked at me. I nodded. She took the car carefully. Thank you, she whispered. Michael almost smiled. Almost. The house was beautiful inside. There were soft rugs and comfortable furniture. The kitchen was big and bright. There were pictures on the walls. Most of them were of Michael. Some were of Daniel and Michael together. None were of Michael's mother. Your room is upstairs, Daniel said. He led us up. At the end of the hall was a bedroom. It had a big bed with a white comforter. There was a dresser and a closet. Big windows that looked out at the trees. And this is Sarah's room, Daniel said, opening the door next to it. I gasped. The room was painted soft pink. There was a small bed with a canopy. Stuffed animals on the shelves. A toy box. A bookshelf full of children's books. Sarah ran inside. She touched everything like she was in a dream. When did you do this? I asked. Michael and I worked on it all week, Daniel said. We wanted her to feel welcome. I started to cry. Hey, Daniel said softly. It's okay. I don't deserve this, I said. Yes, you do, he said. You deserve so much more than this. That night, we had dinner together. Daniel made spaghetti. Michael set the table. Sarah helped me make a salad. It was simple. It was normal. It was everything I had lost. We sat down together. Daniel said a prayer. It was short and sweet. He thanked God for the food and for new friends. Sarah ate 3 helpings. She hadn't eaten that much in months. Michael watched her. Then he looked at his dad. She likes it, he said. I think so, Daniel said. After dinner, Michael asked if Sarah wanted to see his room. She looked at me. I nodded. They went upstairs together. We could hear them talking. Soft voices. Daniel and I cleaned up the kitchen. Thank you, I said. For everything. You don't have to keep thanking me, he said. I do, I said. Because I've never met anyone like you. He stopped washing the dish in his hand. He looked at me. I've never met anyone like you either, he said. Something passed between us. Something warm and quiet. I looked away first. That night, after I put Sarah to bed, I stood in my room and looked out the window. The moon was full. The trees were silver. I could hear the sound of the wind. The sound of peace. I thought about Tom. About our little house. About the life we had planned. I'm sorry, I whispered to him. I'm sorry I couldn't keep our home. I'm sorry I couldn't do it alone. But I wasn't alone anymore. I didn't know what that meant yet, but I wasn't alone. The first week was strange. I didn't know what to do with myself. Daniel went to work every morning at 7. He came home at 6. He worked from home on Fridays. A woman named Mrs. Chen came 3 days a week to clean and cook. She was kind and didn't ask questions. Michael went to school. Sarah was still recovering, so she stayed home with me. We had the big house to ourselves during the day. I cleaned even though Mrs. Chen cleaned. I cooked even though there was food. I needed to do something. I needed to feel useful. Sarah got stronger every day. The color came back to her cheeks. She laughed more. She played. One afternoon, she was playing in the backyard. I was watching her from the kitchen window. Daniel came home early. "Hi," he said. I jumped. "You scared me." "Sorry." He smiled. "I finished my meetings early. Thought I'd come home." He stood next to me and looked out the window. "She's doing well," he said. "Yes," I said. "She's happy." "What about you?" he asked. "Are you happy?" I didn't know how to answer that. "I'm grateful," I said finally. "That's not the same thing," he said. I looked at him. "What do you want me to say?" "The truth," he said. "The truth is I don't know what I'm doing here," I said. "I don't know what you want from me. I don't know what I'm supposed to be." Daniel was quiet for a moment. "You're supposed to be yourself," he said. "That's all." On Friday night, Daniel suggested we have a family movie night. "Family," I said. The word felt strange in my mouth. "Yes," Daniel said simply. We made popcorn. We let the kids pick the movie. They chose an animated film about a lost puppy. We all sat on the big couch. Sarah sat next to me. Michael sat next to Daniel. Halfway through the movie, Sarah fell asleep against my shoulder. I looked down at her. Her face was peaceful. When I looked up, Daniel was watching me. "You're a good mother," he said quietly. "I'm trying," I said. "You're more than trying," he said. "You've given up everything for her." "She's my daughter," I said. "That's what mothers do." "Not all of them," Daniel said. His voice was bitter. I thought about Michael's mother, the woman who left. "Do you miss her?" I asked. Daniel looked surprised. "Who? Your wife?" He shook his head. "No. I was angry for a long time. But I don't miss her. I just miss what I thought we had." "What was that?" "A future," he said. Michael fell asleep too. His head was on Daniel's lap. Daniel looked down at him. He stroked Michael's hair gently. "He's opening up," Daniel said. "Did you notice?" "A little," I said. "It's because of Sarah," Daniel said. "He talks to her. He shares his toys. He smiles. She's good for him," I said. "You're both good for him," Daniel said. "You're good for both of us." My heart beat faster. "I should take Sarah to bed," I said. "Let me help," Daniel said. He carried Michael upstairs. I carried Sarah. We put them in their rooms. We tucked them in. We turned on their night lights. We stood in the hallway together. "Grace," Daniel said. "Yes. I'm glad you're here," he said. "Me too," I said. And I meant it. 2 weeks became 3. 3 became 4. The month Daniel had asked for was almost over. But he didn't mention it. And neither did I. Life settled into a rhythm. Sarah started playing with Michael every afternoon when he came home from school. They built block towers. They colored. They played make-believe. I started cooking dinner. Not because I had to, but because I wanted to. Daniel and I started talking more. Real conversations. About our lives. Our pasts. Our dreams. He told me about building his company from nothing. About the long nights and hard choices. I told him about Tom. About our love. About the pain of losing him. Daniel listened. He didn't try to fix anything. He just listened. And slowly something was changing. One Saturday, Daniel suggested we all go to the park. It was a beautiful day. Warm sun. Blue sky. Sarah and Michael ran to the playground. Daniel and I sat on a bench and watched them. "They look like brother and sister," I said. "They do," Daniel agreed. I watched Sarah go down the slide. Michael was waiting at the bottom to catch her. She was laughing. "I was wrong," I said suddenly. "About what?" Daniel asked. "About not deserving this," I said. "Maybe I do deserve it. Maybe Sarah deserves it. Maybe we all deserve to be happy." Daniel turned to look at me. "You do," he said. "You absolutely do." Our eyes met. He reached over and took my hand. I didn't pull away. We sat there, holding hands, watching our children play. and I felt something I hadn't felt since Tom died. I felt like I was home. That night, after the kids were in bed, Daniel and I sat on the porch. The stars were bright. The air was cool. "The month is over tomorrow," Daniel said. My stomach dropped. "I know. Do you want to leave?" he asked. "No," I said. The word came out fast. "No, I don't." "Good," Daniel said. "Because I don't want you to." Silence. "What are we doing?" I asked. "What is this?" "I don't know," Daniel said honestly. "But I know I look forward to coming home every day. I know I like having dinner with you. I like talking to you. I like watching you with the kids." He turned to me. "I like you, Grace," he said. "More than I should after just a month." My breath caught. "I like you too," I whispered. "So where does that leave us?" he asked. "I don't know," I said. "I'm scared." "Me too," he said. "What if it doesn't work?" I said. "What if we try and we fail and we hurt the kids?" "What if we don't try?" Daniel said. "And we spend the rest of our lives wondering what if?" He was right. "I need time," I said. "I need to go slow." "We'll go as slow as you need," Daniel said. "I'm not going anywhere." He reached for my hand again. This time, I held on tight. Spring turned to summer. Sarah got completely healthy. The doctors said her heart was strong. She could run and play like any other child. I got a part-time job at the local library. Daniel said I didn't need to work, but I wanted to. I needed to feel like I was contributing. The money I made, I saved. Just in case. But every day, the just in case seemed less important. Every day, I felt more at home. Daniel and I started going on walks after dinner. Just the two of us. The kids would play in the yard, and we would walk around the property talking. We talked about everything. Books, movies, politics, dreams. He told me about his childhood, his parents who worked hard, his first business that failed, the lessons he learned. I told him about my parents, the way they cut me off, the pain of that rejection. "Have you thought about reaching out to them?" Daniel asked one night. "Sometimes," I said, "but I don't know what I would say." "Maybe you don't have to say anything," Daniel said. "Maybe you just let them see how well you're doing, how happy you are." "Am I happy?" I asked. He stopped walking. He turned to me. "Are you?" he asked. I thought about it. Really thought about it. "Yes," I said. "I think I am." He smiled. "Good." One night in July, we were sitting on the porch again. It had become our routine. After the kids were in bed, we would sit outside and talk until we were too tired to keep our eyes open. "Grace," Daniel said. Can I kiss you?" My heart stopped. I looked at him. His eyes were soft, hopeful, nervous. "Yes," I whispered. He leaned in slowly. His hand came up to cup my cheek. And then his lips were on mine. It was soft, gentle, sweet. It was nothing like kissing Tom. Tom had been fire and passion. This was different. This was calm water. Steady ground. This was safe. When he pulled back, I was crying. "I'm sorry," he said quickly. "I shouldn't have." "No," I said. "It's not that. It's just, I haven't kissed anyone since Tom." Understanding crossed his face. "I'm sorry," he said. "I know this is complicated." "It is," I said. "But it's also right. Does that make sense?" "Yes," he said. "It makes perfect sense." He pulled me close. I rested my head on his shoulder. We sat like that for a long time. In August, Daniel asked me to go away with him for the weekend. "Just us," he said. "Mrs. Chun said she'd watch the kids." "I don't know," I said. "I've never left Sarah overnight." "She'll be fine," Daniel said. "And we'll only be 2 hours away. We can come back if there's any problem." I bit my lip. "Please," Daniel said. "I want to spend time with you. Just you." "Okay," I said finally. We drove to a small inn by the lake. It was quiet and beautiful. We had separate rooms. Daniel never assumed anything. He was always respectful, always patient. That first night, we had dinner at a little restaurant. We talked and laughed. We held hands across the table. After dinner, we walked by the water. The moon was bright on the lake. The air smelled like pine. "I need to tell you something," I said. "Okay," Daniel said. "I'm falling in love with you," I said. My voice shook. "And it terrifies me." Daniel stopped walking. He turned to face me. "Why does it terrify you?" he asked. "Because I loved Tom with everything I had," I said. "And when he died, it nearly destroyed me. I don't know if I can survive that kind of loss again." "You won't have to," Daniel said. You can't promise that, I said. No, he said. I can't. But I can promise that I will love you every single day that I have. I can promise that I will never leave you by choice. I can promise that you and Sarah and Michael will always be my priority. Tears ran down my face. I'm falling in love with you too, Daniel said. And I'm scared too. But I'm more scared of not trying. I'm more scared of being alone for the rest of my life when I could be with you. He took both of my hands. Marry me, Grace, he said. For real this time. Not out of desperation or obligation, but because we choose each other. I looked at him. This good, kind, patient man. Yes, I said. Yes, I'll marry you. He pulled me into his arms. He kissed me. And this time it wasn't just sweet. This time it was a promise. We didn't want a big wedding. We got married in September, in the backyard of the house that had become our home. There were only a few people there. Mrs. Chun, a few of Daniel's friends from work, the priest from the church we had started attending, and the kids. Sarah wore a white dress with flowers in her hair. Michael wore a little suit and tie. They stood next to us as we said our vows. I promise to love you, Daniel said, looking into my eyes. I promise to choose you every day. I promise to be a father to Sarah and to love her as my own. I could barely speak through my tears. I promise to love you, I said. I promise to build a life with you. I promise to be a mother to Michael and to love him as my own. The priest smiled. You may kiss the bride. Daniel kissed me. Sarah and Michael clapped and cheered. And just like that, we were a family. That night, after the small reception, after the cake and the dancing, after we put the kids to bed, Daniel and I stood in our bedroom. Our bedroom now. Together. Are you happy? He asked. I'm more than happy, I said. I'm grateful. I'm blessed. I'm home. He pulled me close. Me too. We stood there, holding each other, and I thought about the long journey that had brought me here. The loss, the pain, the fear, the sidewalk outside the hospital where a stranger had knelt down and offered me everything. Thank you, I whispered. For what? Daniel asked. For seeing me, I said. For choosing me. For loving me. Thank you for letting me, he said. The years passed like water. Gentle, steady, beautiful. Sarah grew up strong and healthy. She started school. She made friends. She joined the soccer team. She called Daniel Dad. The first time she said it, Daniel cried. He tried to hide it, but I saw. Michael opened up more and more. He laughed. He talked. He brought friends home. He called me Mom. The first time he said it, I cried too. We became a real family. Not by blood, but by choice. And that made it even more precious. One day, about 2 years after the wedding, I was cleaning out the attic. I found a box I had brought from the hospital. The box with the few things I had owned when Daniel found me. Inside was Tom's watch, his wedding ring, a picture of us on our wedding day. I sat down on the dusty floor and looked at the picture. Tom was smiling, young and handsome and full of life. I touched his face gently. I hope you're proud of me, I whispered. I hope you're happy that I found love again. I hope you know that I'll never forget you. But I'm not just surviving anymore, Tom. I'm living. I put the picture back carefully. I kept the box. I would always keep it. But I didn't need to live in the past anymore. I had a future now. That night at dinner, Michael said, Dad, can we go camping this weekend? Sure, Daniel said. Where do you want to go? The lake, Michael said. The one where you and Mom got engaged. Sarah clapped. Yes, I want to go swimming. Mom, Michael said, looking at me. Is that okay? Every time he called me Mom, my heart grew bigger. That sounds perfect, I said. After dinner, Daniel and I did the dishes together. We had a rhythm now. He washed. I dried. Do you remember that weekend? He asked. At the lake. Of course, I said. I was so nervous. So was I, he said. I was sure you were going to say no. Really? I said. Even after everything? Especially after everything, he said. I thought you might think I was crazy. I laughed. You were a little crazy. I was a lot crazy, he said. But it worked out. Yes, I said. It did. He put down the dish and turned to me. He pulled me close. I love you, he said. I love you too, I said. And I meant it with my whole heart. On a Tuesday afternoon in October, the doorbell rang. I was in the kitchen, making cookies with Sarah. She was 10 now, beautiful and bright and full of life. I'll get it, she yelled, running to the door. I followed her, wiping flour off my hands. Sarah opened the door. An older woman and man stood there. They looked nervous, uncomfortable. My heart stopped. "Mom," I whispered. "Dad." My mother's hand flew to her mouth. "Grace." We stood there, staring at each other. "Can we come in?" my father asked quietly. I nodded. I couldn't speak. We sat in the living room. Sarah brought them water without being asked. Then she went upstairs to give us privacy. "How did you find me?" I asked. "We hired someone," my mother said. "A private investigator. It took months." "Why?" I asked. "After all this time, why now?" My father looked down at his hands. "Because we were wrong," he said. "About Tom. About you. About everything." My mother started to cry. "We thought we were protecting you," she said. "We thought Tom wasn't good enough. We thought you were making a mistake. But we were the ones who made a mistake," my father said. "We lost our daughter. We lost our granddaughter. And for what? Pride. Stupidity." I didn't know what to say. "We heard about Tom," my mother said. "About his death. And we wanted to reach out, but we didn't know how. We thought you hated us." "I did," I said honestly. "For a long time I did." "And now?" my father asked. I thought about it. "Now I'm tired of carrying that hate," I said. "It's too heavy." My mother reached out and took my hand. "Can you forgive us?" I looked at her. She had aged. There were lines on her face, gray in her hair. She was my mother. "I don't know," I said. "But maybe we can start over. Maybe we can try. That's all we're asking," my father said. Sarah came back downstairs. She was holding a picture she had drawn. "Are you my grandparents?" she asked. My mother's face crumbled. "Yes," she whispered. "We are." "Okay," Sarah said. She handed my mother the picture. "I drew this for you." It was a picture of a family. But this time there were 6 people. "Who are they all?" my mother asked. "That's me and Mama and Dad and Michael," Sarah said. "And that's you too." My father started to cry. Sarah looked at me. "Is it okay that I drew them, Mama?" I pulled her close. "Yes, baby. It's very okay." That night, I told Daniel about my parents' visit. "How do you feel?" he asked. "Confused," I said. "Angry. Sad. Hopeful. Everything." "Do you want them in your life?" he asked. "I think so," I said. "Maybe. I don't know." Daniel put his arm around me. "Whatever you decide, I support you. They want to meet you," I said. "And Michael. They want to know their grandchildren. Then we'll invite them for dinner," Daniel said. "This weekend." "Just like that?" I asked. "Just like that," he said. "Because family is complicated. And messy. And hard. But it's also worth it." I leaned against him. "When did you get so wise?" I asked. "When I met you," he said. "My parents came for dinner that Saturday." Michael was shy at first. But my father asked him about school and sports, and soon they were talking. My mother helped me in the kitchen. We didn't talk about the past. We talked about recipes and the weather and small, safe things. It wasn't easy, but it was a start. At the end of the night, my mother hugged me. "Thank you," she whispered, "for giving us another chance. We all deserve second chances," I said. And I believed it. It's been 5 years since Daniel found me on that sidewalk. 5 years since he asked me that impossible question. Sarah is 12 now. She's tall and strong. She plays soccer and gets straight A's. She wants to be a doctor. Michael is 14. He's thoughtful and kind. He's in the robotics club. He has friends. He smiles. Daniel's company is thriving. But he works from home 3 days a week now, because he says he doesn't want to miss anything. My parents visit once a month. We're not close, not yet. But we're trying. And that's enough. I work full-time at the library now. I love it. I love the books and the quiet and helping people find stories. Mrs. Chin still comes, but now she's like family too. She brings her grandchildren over, and they play with Sarah and Michael. Our life is full, and good, and real. Last week, I found Daniel in his office looking at something. "What are you looking at?" I asked. He held it up. It was Sarah's drawing from the hospital, the one with 4 stick figures. He had it framed. "I look at this whenever I have a hard day," he said. "It reminds me what matters." I sat on his lap. He wrapped his arms around me. "Do you ever regret it?" I asked. "Proposing to a stranger?" "Never," he said. "Not once." "Do you regret saying yes?" "Never," I said. "Good," he said. He kissed my forehead. Because I'd do it all over again. Every single day. That night, after the kids were in bed, Daniel and I sat on the porch. It was our favorite place. Our quiet place. Do you remember what you said that first day? I asked. On the sidewalk, I said a lot of things, Daniel said. You said, if I adopt your child, will you be my wife? I said. I remember, he said. That was the craziest thing anyone has ever said to me. I said. I know, he said, laughing. But it was also the best thing, I said. Because you didn't just save Sarah that day. You saved me too. You saved yourself, Daniel said. I just gave you a safe place to land. I leaned against him. We saved each other, I said. Yes, he said. We did. We sat there in the quiet, holding hands, watching the stars. And I thought about how life can change in a single moment. How one choice can lead to another. How strangers can become family. How love can be found in the most unexpected places. Daniel had knelt down on a dirty sidewalk and offered me everything. I had been a beggar with nothing. And now I had more than I ever dreamed possible. Not because of money or a big house, but because of love. The kind of love that chooses to stay. The kind of love that builds slowly day by day. The kind of love that says, I see you. I choose you. I'll never let you go. Grace, Daniel said softly. Yes. Thank you for saying yes, he said. I smiled. Thank you for asking. He kissed me, slow and sweet and full of promise. And somewhere in the house, I heard Sarah laugh. And Michael's voice answering her. The sound of our children. The sound of our family. The sound of home. 5 years turned to 10. Sarah graduated high school with honors. She got accepted to medical school, just like she dreamed. The day she left for college, we all cried. Even Michael, who was 19 now and pretended to be too tough for tears. I'm going to miss you so much, Sarah said, hugging me tight. I'm going to miss you too, baby, I said. But I'm so proud of you. She hugged Daniel next. Thank you, Dad. For everything. I love you, sweetheart, he said. His voice broke. Then she hugged Michael. Take care of them, okay? Always, Michael said. We watched her drive away. Daniel took my hand. She's going to change the world, he said. I know, I said. Michael went to college too. He studied engineering. He called home every Sunday. The house felt empty without them. But Daniel and I filled it with new routines. We traveled. We took cooking classes. We volunteered at the hospital where Sarah had her surgery all those years ago. We helped other families. Other mothers who were scared and alone. And every time, I remembered what it felt like to be in their shoes. I remembered the fear and the desperation. And I remembered the stranger who saved me. My parents passed away within a year of each other. It was peaceful. They were old and ready. But before my mother died, she held my hand. I'm sorry, she said, for all the years we lost. It's okay, Mom, I said. We found our way back. You did good, Grace, she said. Better than we ever did. You built a beautiful family. Thank you, I said. She smiled. Tom would be proud of you. I hope so, I said. I know so, she said. On our 15th wedding anniversary, Daniel surprised me with a trip. Where are we going? I asked. You'll see, he said. We drove for 2 hours. And then I knew. The hospital. The sidewalk where we met. We stood there together, looking at the spot where our story began. Do you ever think about that day? Daniel asked. All the time, I said. Do you? Every day, he said. I think about how close I came to walking past you. I had a meeting. I was late. I almost didn't stop. But you did, I said. But I did, he agreed. And it changed everything. He turned to me. I have something for you. He pulled out a small box. Inside was a necklace. A simple silver pendant in the shape of a heart. Open it, he said. I opened the locket. Inside were 2 pictures. One of Sarah and Michael as children. One of them now as adults. So you never forget where we came from, Daniel said. And where we're going. I couldn't stop crying. I love you, I said. So much. I love you too, he said. Thank you for taking a chance on me. Thank you for taking a chance on me, I said. We stood there on that sidewalk, holding each other, remembering. 20 years after that day on the sidewalk, Daniel and I sit on our porch. We're older now. Gray hair. Laugh lines. Slower steps. But we're still here. Still together. Still in love. Sarah is a doctor now. She works in pediatric cardiology. She saves children's hearts, just like her own was saved. She's married to a good man named James. They have a daughter, our granddaughter. Her name is Grace. Michael is an engineer. He designs medical equipment. He says he wants to help people, like his family helped him. He's engaged to a wonderful woman named Lisa. The wedding is next summer. Our house is full again on holidays. Full of laughter and love and family. This is the life we built. From nothing. From a sidewalk. From a stranger's kindness. Do you have any regrets? Daniel asks me. We're watching the sunset. The sky is orange and pink and gold. No, I say. Not a single one. You. Only that I didn't find you sooner, he says. I smile. We found each other at exactly the right time. Do you still think about Tom? He asks. He's never been jealous of Tom. Just curious. Sometimes, I say. But not with pain anymore. Just with gratitude. He taught me how to love. And because of that, I was able to love you. Daniel nods. I'm grateful to him too. We sit in comfortable silence. You know what I realized? I say. What's that? That day on the sidewalk, you asked me a question. I say. If you adopted my child, would I be your wife? I remember, Daniel says. But the truth is, you didn't just adopt Sarah. I say. You adopted all of me. My past. My pain. My fears. My dreams. You took all of it and loved all of it. Daniel takes my hand. And you did the same for me. Yes, I say. I did. The sun sets completely. The stars come out. Somewhere in the house, I hear the phone ring. It's probably Sarah, calling to say goodnight to her daughter like she does every evening. Or Michael, checking in like he always does. Our family. Our blessing. Our miracle. Grace, Daniel says. Yes, my love. If I had to do it all over again, he says. If I could go back to that day on the sidewalk, I wouldn't change a single thing. Neither would I say. He kisses my hand. Here's to the next 20 years. And the 20 after that. I say. We sit there under the stars, holding hands, growing old together. Two people who were lost. Two people who were lonely. Two people who found each other in the most impossible way. And built a love that would last forever. Sometimes the best things in life come from the worst moments. Sometimes strangers become family. Sometimes love finds you when you're not even looking for it. And sometimes all it takes is one person to stop. To see you. To choose you. To say, I'll help you. I'll love you. I'll stay. That's what Daniel did for me. And that's what I did for him. We saved each other. And in doing so, we built a life more beautiful than either of us could have imagined. So if you're struggling today, if you're alone, if you're afraid, remember this story. Remember that hope is real. That second chances exist. That love can find you in the most unexpected places. All you have to do is say yes. What did this story mean to you? Tell us in the comments. And if you enjoyed this story, please share it with someone who needs hope today. The end.